Welcome to Miss.sheeena's world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
So story time, and every time I tell the story, like, I'm re-traumatized by living it, and no one ever believes me because honestly it just sounds so far-fetched, but it did in fact happen, and it's not the first time that something like this has happened in my life. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so point of view is 2017, and all I do is party every weekend. That's literally all I do. I have my first job. I'm like 20 years old. I'm having a great time with me and my friends. And so me and my friends started using this account on Twitter called Party Plug, right? And what Party Plug was basically like an account that just dropped people's addresses. Like, they would give Party Plug their address and be like, yo, we're having a party on Saturday at like, 8 or 9 o'clock. And then we would just go like that. And we went to so many parties with Party Plug, like maybe 4 or 5. And it was always a good time, right? Like big houses. I'm talking about like 300 people there, like great parties, like really fun parties. And one night we're using it, and like it gives us this address to a neighborhood that I know, like a real quiet neighborhood, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, I lived around that area, so I know the area, and it's like this rich, quiet neighborhood. It was a weird place for somebody to put on Party Plug because, you'd figure somebody would complain or something like that. So we end up going anyway. And when we get there, it's like pitch black. It's dark. Like we went and we knocked on the door. Nobody came out. We rang the doorbell, and we're all like tipsy or drunk. I don't know. We're just there, and we decide to sit in the parking lot, like right outside the house. Not even the parking lot, like literally damn near outside the drive-thru on the street. We're sitting on the edge, and we're just blasting music in the car, and we're literally dancing inside the car. Like, I'm just there drinking a Captain Morgan bottle. Like, we're having a good old time, and we're blasting music in this neighborhood because we are stupid, like, young adults, and that's what we were doing. So we're sitting outside this house that we found on Party Plug. Like, maybe 5 minutes go by. We're blasting music, looking for the next, like, address on Party Plug. And out of nowhere, like a good, like 5 to 6 cop cars literally come swerving into the neighborhood, like type shit. Like, sirens weren't even on until they saw our car. And I'm like, oh my God, we're dead because we're all darker skinned people. And I literally cracked my door open, and I put my Captain Morgan bottle down on the ground, and I closed the door and put my hands up because these dudes came out with their guns drawn. Their guns were literally drawn on us, like, from the get-go. They got out of the car with, like, their guns literally, like, they were ready to go. And I'm here thinking, like, oh, this is how I die, right? And again, surprise, surprise, the family comes out from the house where they weren't answering their door, they weren't answering their doorbell. They come out, and you will not guess what they look like. They look like hillbillies. I'm talking about, like, half head shaven off, all blonde hair, look like hillbillies. One person came out with looks to be the father with a shotgun. What looks to be the mother came out with a machete. Like, it looked like another girl came out, which I'm assuming is their daughter, came out with nunchucks. And what I can only assume to be a son also came out with a shotgun. It was insane. And they were all yelling to the top of their lungs, "Ah!" Just standing in the front of their door frame. All the cops take their guns from pointing it at us and pointing it at them. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And we're just literally here looking back and forth like who's going to kill us? So whatever, a few minutes go by of me thinking that I'm going to die from either this crazy ass family that knocked on their door or the cops. And the cops kind of like made them go back inside their house and put their weapons away. And the cop comes to us and he's like, yo, how did you guys find this address and why are you here? And we're like, yo, we found it on Party Plug on Twitter. And he's like, can you take it down? I'm like, no, it's a Twitter account and we don't own the Twitter account. We just found the address on there. And we're explaining this shit to him. And he's like, well, these people called the cops on you. They said that you guys were being very rude outside their house. But actually, these people are people that we're investigating because we believe that they've been kidnapping little girls. And they've been going missing in this area. And they typically call the cops on grown men that come to their house. And I guess they've been using Party Plug to invite girls or anyone that comes, dares come that they can grab. And I don't know if they saw black men and they were like, we're bigger dudes. And they're like, yo, like, we cannot take these guys. So they called the cops on us. But apparently the cops were investigating them for kidnapping little girls. And honestly, looking back, the cop really shouldn't have told us that. And I don't think he was supposed to tell us that because his partner was kind of looking at him like, yo, you shouldn't be telling them that. But he looked genuinely concerned. And I think he did think that we had some type of connection to Party Plug and that we were going to, like, I don't know, be able to warn others. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But the cops did end up letting us go. They did ask about the Captain Morgan bottle on the ground. And I was like, that's not me because obviously I think I was like 20 or maybe 21. But either way, shouldn't be drinking in the car. So I was like, oh, I don't know whose bottle that is. I just lied like that. But yeah, we we almost died that night. And looking back, even more so, I think now, like, you know, I really do like thank God for being black sometimes, because these dudes, I didn't have no weapons on me. We ain't had no weapons on us, bro. They really could have just like pointed the shotty at us and told us to come inside. Like, what could we do? You feel me? But yeah, thank God, bro. Like, they were intimidated by us, that they didn't even attempt anything. But I wonder what happened to this day with those people.
If you go out with me, I need you to understand that you cannot be scary. Like, I cannot do scary girls, because sometimes shit just happens and we need you to be prepared. Let me paint this picture. Me and my best friend, we get invited to this mansion party. Mansion party is cool because we know everybody there already, because we hang out with them often. So she invites her homegirl, and we're going to call her Markeisha. So I'm vibing with Markeisha because that's my homegirl's homegirl, and I'm not a weird bitch. So I'm going to be cool with the homegirl because you're my homegirl's homegirl, and that's just how homegirls should be. The vibes are cool, the party's good, and then someone that my homegirl slightly deals with walks in. We're going to call him Mark. Mark is just moving extra weird. And mind you, me and Mark are cool, so I think. Me and Mark are supposed to be friends. So me and the homegirls, we get hot, so we step out. And as we step out, my homegirl sees someone that could potentially be a good business connection. So she starts chopping it up with him, and I see another friend of ours that invited us. So I start talking to him, and Markeisha's just there. Like, Markeisha doesn't really know anybody, but she's more involved in my conversation because obviously that's a business conversation, and she doesn't want to be involved in that because that's my homegirl's business conversation. So we butt out. We start talking to other people. We talk to each other. Mark walks out, and I don't know what happened, but something in this conversation, I guess, rubbed Mark the wrong way. I don't know if it was the alcohol. I don't know if it was anything else. But Mark gets to tripping. Things are fine, and all of a sudden, I hear Mark say, 1, 2, 3, 4, bitches, get out. What? So I think there's only 3 of us. He can't quite possibly be talking to us. That's only 3 of us. He's talking to us. So as soon as I peep that, I'm like, Mark, you don't even have to worry about that. Who are you kicking out? You're not kicking me out. So I start walking to the front. I beat Mark to the front. Mark is trying to walk to security to grab us. Security is begging us to come back into this party, mind you. So Mark really doesn't have the pull that Mark thinks he has. But he starts walking to security, trying to tell security. So my friend's walking with Mark, trying to see, like, Mark, what is going on? Like, why are you acting like this, Mark? This is weird. I see 4 girls walk out, lined up at the top of the stairs. I say, oh, I see what's happening here. They're staring at her like hawks. I said, shit. 4 girls, 3 girls, odds are still looking good. Except Markeisha goes missing. Markeisha walks out with me, so I'm thinking she's next to me the whole time. Markeisha is nowhere to be found when I turn to look around to count the odds, because there's 4 girls on the stairs, right? Markeisha, there's supposed to be 3 of us. Where'd you go, boo? Where are you? I don't have time to look for Markeisha because there's 4 bitches staring at my best friend right now like a hawk. So I'm watching the whole altercation. I'm looking at the 4 girls at the top of the stairs. I'm watching Mark and my friend not even argue. Like, she's trying to tap him like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? A Tesla pulls up. 2 bitches in the Tesla. I said, okay, odds are looking really bad. One of the girls in the Tesla screams out the window, I know she didn't just touch my brother. Mind you, I'm looking at the whole altercation. No one touched Mark. No one touched Mark. And Mark doesn't say no one touched me. Mark just lets it play out. Mark, I know what you are. So the girl starts hopping out the car. So I'm trying to just like obstruct her way in. I'm trying to stand close to security so she can't like push past us. So the girl stands at the front with me because you can't get in here. There's already 4 bitches back there. You're not getting in here. Not on my watch. So Mark, after he talks to security and he sees security is fucking with us, he walks back inside, or tries to, and my homegirl follows him because she's still trying to figure out, Mark, what is going on, Mark? Why are you tripping, Mark? They get to the top of the stairs, and out comes Big Bertha through the front door. I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried. Big Bertha gets to tripping, and I'm talking screaming, threatening, everything. And she pushes my friend down the stairs with all her Big Bertha might. I get super worried because my friend, she's a little bit of a wild card. I get worried. I said, oh, fuck, we're fighting tonight. And I'm preparing myself in my 6-inch heels and my little tiny outfit. I'm preparing myself. We're fighting tonight. She just pushed her. My friend does the most surprising thing in the world. She catches herself in her heels like a bad bitch does. Clock that. Turns around, looks at Big Bertha, and points. So I'm like, oh, we're not fighting. Oh, we're not fighting. Oh my God. My homegirl walks to the front. She meets me at the front and we start cackling laughing because I am dead as fuck. I'm so surprised that she didn't turn around and do anything. I'm dead as fuck laughing. So she starts laughing. As we're walking out so calmly, we hear Big Bertha start screaming about, oh, and if you come back, we gon' you. If you come back, we gon' you. Big Bertha, calm down. We're just girls. We don't even do that. You're the gangbanger. You just banged on us, Big Bertha. Oh my God, be a lady. Hard for a bitch that looks like Big Bertha, I know, but baby, you're still a girl. You're still a girl. So as we're walking down the street cackling, they could probably hear us cackling. And the fact that we walked out so calmly, started laughing, and she pointed at that lady's face, we think they thought that we had a in the car and we were coming back to handle that. Mind you, we didn't even want to fight this night. We're still walking down the street cackling because we're surprised, like, oh my God, nothing happened. Big Bertha's back there still threatening us like a man, talk about she's gonna get boy tools and do boy stuff to us. Girl, we're gone. Bertha, calm down. Mind you, Markeisha, where are you? We get to the car, guess where Markeisha is? At the car. You know what? And I think what just happened finally settles in for my friend because she starts to get pissed. So pissed that we are not even moving this car because she's not driving like that. I'm not letting her drive like that. So Markeisha is in the car crying, begging her to move the car. I said, if she moves this car, we're going to die. You don't even get it. We're not going to make it if she moves this car. She's not moving anything. She wants to go back in there and handle what needs to be handled with Mark. Because the thing about Mark is Mark didn't de-escalate anything. Mark, who's supposed to be, you know what, slightly messing with my homegirl, he watched my homegirl get touched and didn't say anything like, hey guys, she didn't hit me. Just so everybody knows, everybody can calm down. You didn't even do that, Mark. I know what you are. So as the night's going on and Markeisha is still freaking out, I have to tell her, Markeisha, you weren't even in any danger. You were good, boo. Why are you freaking out? You weren't even in any danger. We were the ones in danger. You done left your homegirl to get done up if you don't even know what was going on. If I wasn't there, my best friend I don't even know what would have happened. And from that moment forward, I learned my lesson. If you are not going to be a team player when you come out with the team, you cannot come. You cannot come. One band, one sound, okay? If one does it, we all do it because this team works together. There is no man for themselves on this team. At the end of the day, if you are not prepared for the repercussions of possibly going out and there being an issue, because when alcohol's involved, when there's hella people, high tensions involved, sometimes happens, you know? And if you are not prepared to handle what happens, I don't want to be with you, because if I get jumped because my homegirl runs away, there's going to be another whooping delivered that night, okay? Fast forward, Markeisha and my homegirl are still friends. I didn't really frequent with Markeisha anyways, so it didn't really affect me. I don't talk to her unless my homegirl is around, and that is okay with me. Mark did go ahead and apologize. I'm not a very forgiving girl. My homegirl is very forgiving. She's the sweetest girl in the world, and I think that's why she forgives so well. I don't. I am the grudge holder of the group. Mark did apologize. I did not accept that apology. My homegirl did. I did voice to Mark and his friends how uncomfortable that situation was and how pissed off I was about it. After they heard me, I really stopped talking to all of them. I stopped hanging out with them. And yeah, I saw Mark one time after that at this party in July, and he apologized then. I still don't care. Yeah, that's just what it is. Don't go out with nobody that is not prepared to handle it, what needs to be handled. That's the moral of the story.
So being somebody who used to dance at a nightclub for the past like 6 years, and just this past year hanging up the boots, calling it quits, I get asked a lot, you know, just questions about the industry in general, but specifically something like funny or embarrassing that has happened. People always want to know those kind of stories, and I thought that I would just share one with you guys today. So buckle up and get ready for this one. Let me set the scene for you. I was dancing at a club in Boston. This was probably maybe 4 years ago. And I'm one of those people that every couple hours I get hungry, bitch. I mean, which is not abnormal, but I'll get kind of like a little lightheaded if I don't eat something every couple hours. And no, I don't have low blood sugar or anything. My back is just big. It's nothing diagnosed. It's just big back. So don't worry. I'm okay. But I was at the club and they had called me to go on stage. They were like, oh, you're next on stage. I was like, oh, fuck. I don't know if I was waiting for my food to get there or something. I was fucking starving, okay? So this club in particular, there was a bathroom attendant that worked in the male bathroom, okay? And he was, you know how they have the bathroom attendants, they have like in the women's bathrooms, they'll have like perfume and deodorant and little candies and stuff, whatever. So it's basically that version, but for men, which I'm sure they have at other clubs too, just men, whatever. Just fucking picture it, right? So the bouncer that worked there, I was like, can you go in the men's bathroom and get me a few pieces of candy from the guy, please? Can you just go a few pieces of chocolate or something to hold me over so I don't freaking see stars on this next stage set, right? He's like, yeah, sure. So he goes and he gets me a few of the miniature Snickers, like the mini ones that you get on like Halloween that are like this big, right? So boom, you know, I'm cutting it close, pop one in my mouth, go on stage. Okay, it's literally dissolving in my mouth as I'm walking onto the stage. Okay, so I'm like chewing it on the stage. I'm walking onto the stage and, you know, start doing my thing, and I start to notice it's not going down. Something is stuck. So I'm like so I'm like starting to now panic. I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm fucking choking. I'm like, I'm like literally choking. So I was like, mind you, I'm on stage. It's a fucking Friday night. The stage is full of people, okay? And they're just staring at me like, and so I know I'm in like a full-blown panic. So I literally walk to the side of the stage that's like closest to the DJ, and I'm like, I'm like with my hand in the air, I'm like, I can't. Oh my fucking God. And he's like, and he runs out of the DJ booth, and I don't know what the fuck, if more of the chocolate had melted or something, but I just was like, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay. But for a good 30 seconds, girl, it was so scary. And then that wasn't even the most embarrassing part. The more embarrassing part was then I just had to be like, baby, grind on me, relax your body, like just keep dancing like nothing fucking happened and do my damn stage set. Okay, that's not the song I dance to. I would never dance. But I was just like, and then I just had to be like, the show must go on, woohoo, and like twirl around the fucking pole. Dude, it was so humiliating. And you definitely, like, people definitely like pity tipped me. They were like, okay, like what the fuck just happened? And it was really embarrassing. God, even though the whole thing only lasted like 45 seconds, but it was just having to stay on the stage for the next like few songs and act like everything was just didn't happen was so horrible. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you for listening.
Story time on how me and my homeboy went to state and almost got boom. So this freshman year, my first time coming out of the house, had strict parents, didn't play that shit. First party we went to, it was a Freaknik down there at State, South Carolina State University. On the way there, me and my homeboy driving down the highway, whatever, a car did a whole 360 in front of us. That should have been a sign right there to take my ass home. Boom, we touched down, we get there, or whatever the case may be, long ass line. I'm talking about line back that door, no shit finna get cracked. Get in the party, shit, vibes, chilling. I done seen niggas that I graduated with go to this bitch, you feel me? We done cut the line, we done got in the party. Soon as the bitch started, a strolling song come on. I can't remember what it was, but a strolling song came on. Soon as that bitch came on, all you had was I'm talking about they lit that bitch. Said I was never going to stay it again. Fucked around and went this year. Some more crazy shit happened. RIP to the families, that was involved in this. But some other crazy shit happened this year as well. More of the story. Stay away from state parties.
Nobody dislikes drunk people more than the club that you're drunk as fuck at security. I swear to God. And remember this one night I was bouncing? Saturday night. Smelled like a musty man mosh pit in that bitch. But this particular night, I got a section. In this section, it's a birthday party. Big group of girls. They done brought cupcakes, all type of shit, which is kind of wholesome, but also kind of weird. How the fuck you get them cupcakes in here? Neither did her. Boom. The actual club is busy than a motherfucker. Eyebrow to eyebrow. Elbows and assholes everywhere. Bumper to bumper traffic. It's hard to move in that bitch, but I ain't got to worry about that because I'm stationary tonight. You know what I mean? There's this little nigga that keeps walking by me. He like 5'3", $140, $150. And every time he walk by me, he say something to me, and I hate it. Big dog, you straight? I'm good, brother. You need anything, big dog? I don't need anything. Big dog, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Stop fucking talking to me. You know what I mean? Boom. Later in the night, he stumbled up to me, and I know he blitzed. You know what I mean? Because he had a big-ass blue drink, and I done seen him take down 2 of these bitches. I've never seen anybody stand up to more than 2. And this is third one, and it's full. He stumbled up to me like a fucking zombie. Big dog, check it out. Reluctantly, I leaned down to him. What's up, bro? Big dog, watch this. Now I'm nervous instantly because I've never seen anybody do anything cool after watch this. You know what I mean? He grabbed the bottom of his cup and just chucked that bitch in the sky across the dance floor. I watch it in slow motion because I know this is about to start a fucking Royal Rumble. You hear me? Boom. It hit a nigga right in his biscuit. Bing. You hear me? Blue drink all over his little Fashion Over men's fit. Fuck this whole fit off. He hot. Turn around. Man, who the fuck? Get into a big ass fight, one of the biggest brawls I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I look back to see I look back to the fucking leprechaun because I can't wait to ask him, why the fuck would you do that? And he's not there. I never saw that nigga again. If I ever catch you.
I was invited to a secret A-list celebrities party. There were things that happened at this party that were so dark and so terrible that I've been afraid to talk about it until now. This goes back to almost 7 years ago when I was living in Los Angeles. I was a struggling actress. I was working as a dancer at a club. At this club, we would get a lot of clients that were high profile, especially in the music industry. On one particular evening, we had this very high profile client come in and request a VIP room. I knew that this celebrity had a preference for Latino women, so when he requested a VIP room and actually requested me, I was quite surprised. And I went to do this VIP with a friend of mine that I worked with, did our job, did our thing, and at the end, he gave us a business card with his assistant's name and phone number and told us to call that number if we wanted to party after work that night. I was so not down for this, but the friend that I had done the VIP with told me that she's gone to one of his parties before and that he lives in the Hollywood Hills, has a really cool house. I was really apprehensive on going, but the night was really slow at the club that evening, so we actually ended up leaving early. I was not much of a party person or a drinker, so I was completely out of my element. I was literally there just for the bag. The party at this guy's house was not big or anything. I would say that there were probably less than 30 people in attendance, smoking and doing things that you can imagine are happening at celebrity parties. But one thing I couldn't help but notice is that amongst the people were some very, very young looking girls. At one point I look at my friend and I tell her, hey, like, don't some of these people look like way too young? That is when my friend told me that the assistant at the club wasn't the A-list celebrity's assistant. This guy is a recruiter. Basically what this person does is goes to parties, goes to clubs, and finds girls in a certain age range. That these young girls were being recruited to go to these parties, not to just hang out, but to engage in other unlawful things. This is actually not something completely uncommon in Los Angeles. In fact, this is something that happens a lot. I was completely dumbfounded and disgusted. I ended up leaving that night and never looking back on the whole entire situation until years later, I saw in a tabloid an accusation being made against this very celebrity of doing exactly what I just told you guys.